everybody. Today I have a guest on my channel. Whoop, whoop. Her name is Tamsin, and she is from Reunite Families. As you all know, I am going through this separation from my husband, and Reunite Families, when I did my brought down video on the channel, I spoke about them. So finally, I was successful in getting someone to come and be interviewed and tell us more about Reunite Families and what they do for us. And we'll just have a chat, as you all know, because the channel is really not all presentation style. So, Tamsin, tell us about you and what you do in Reunite Families and why you do it.
Cool. Thanks for inviting me. It's been so lovely to meet you, and yeah, it's great to have a chance to talk about our work. So yeah, thanks for featuring Reunite Families on your YouTube channel. So yeah, my name's Tamsin. I've worked for Reunite Families for about 2 years now. My role is leading the research project. So over the past few years, we've been researching the impact of the spouse and partner migration rules. We started focusing on children, and then we broadened it out to focus on couples and families as well. And so my job has been to run that project basically, and to lead on the research and to lead on the final things that we produced. And so the project is kind of coming to an end. It'll be coming to an end in October time. And as some of your watchers might know, we had an event in Parliament recently. So one aspect of this project was producing different forms of media for this event in Parliament. So we ran this research project. We heard from loads of families. We worked with another charity who interviewed children, so we heard directly from children who were affected. We also did this survey, and we heard from more than 750 people through the survey. So we had so much information from people who are really struggling because of the impact of these difficult rules. And then we've been just working out what can we do with this? What's the best way for us to use all of this information to try and create change? And Reunite Families is a very small organisation, so we're very tiny, we're grassroots. And my colleague Matteo, he's in charge of the policy and advocacy aspect, or the campaigning. So obviously we use the research to inform our policy, our campaigns, our advocacy work. So that it's very closely connected, because we're a small team of 4 people at the moment, but all of us are part-time, none of us are full-time. And so as an organisation, we do research, we do policy advocacy campaigns, and then we also, the way we started is that we were this Facebook group set up by 2 mums who were impacted by the rules. And the Facebook group was a place where people could come together and ask questions and share experiences. And that Facebook group has now grown and grown and grown, and we've now moved over to Circle, which is our new platform. That's the new space. So everything's really well organised on Circle. We have all our information. We've got sort of guides on there, which it's not legal advice, but it's just simply people sharing their experiences, basically. And so we basically create a space where peer-to-peer support can happen for people to help each other through the spouse and partner process. And then we also offer some well-being stuff. So at the moment we're trying to organise meetups, which is how we met. So getting people to come together and meet each other, because I think so many of our members find that it's such an isolating experience, and meeting other people who are going through it or have been through it is really helpful for people to feel less alone. So we try to organise that, and in the past we've also run some well-being sessions as well. I've probably missed lots of stuff that we do, but that's an overview.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So why are you so passionate? Because I know that you are passionate about being a part of the organization.
So it's a good question, and one that I've often reflected on. So I started being involved with immigration stuff when I was a student. So I used to visit women in immigration detention centres, sort of just outside London. And I think at the time, my motivation for getting involved in that was just that I couldn't believe it was happening, and I thought it was wrong, and that I wanted to do something to change it. And at the time, I never really thought it was anything to do with myself or my family or anything like that. Um, and then since then, I basically dived into that area of work. So I've done lots of work with within the like migrant and refugee sphere, and that's sort of what I've worked on ever since I was a student. But then, in a way, through working for Reunite Families, well, through that work in general, I actually have ended up focusing on reuniting families. So, for example, I worked in a refugee camp and we set up a legal project there. And the thing that we
Mhm.
ended up focusing on was reuniting families who were separated by the border. And I think, I guess the thing of like families being divided just I think it speaks to all of us. I
It
think
does.
we can all get behind that, and we all want families to be together. I think that's a very just like it's just something that is simple, right? It's just simple that
It is.
families should have the opportunity to be together and to take care of one another. And so I suppose that kind of got me into that particular area of kind of migration. And then when working for Reunite Families, I've reflected more, and I've kind of finally acknowledged that actually I'm a third generation migrant. So my grandfather was Greek Cypriot, and so my dad was part of a binational family, and my grandfather was like a political exile. And so, in some way, like migration is definitely a part of my heritage, and it's not something that I ever thought was like a reason why I did this work. But as sort of more than a decade's gone by, I guess I have come to reflect that, like, yeah, I do have within me like I guess, a sense of family being this sometimes complex and international thing, but that being like a gift, that being like a
Yes.
beautiful thing, and that being something that we should protect and we should work to protect. And yeah, I guess I'm passionate about the UK not being about the UK being diverse, and about the UK welcoming migration, and about the UK being open and not kind of this closed, like big walls up kind of place. Like, um, yeah, I guess that's just always felt important to me. And whether that's to do with my family or just to do with like me and what I believe in, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, that's some of my motivation.
Oh, you're such a lovely person.
Oh,
No, because a lot of people obviously are only involved in things that are directly affecting them,
mm,
but although it doesn't directly affect you,
yeah.
I think obviously because of your kind heart, because I read people. I'm
Oh,
so good at it. I read people, and I could see that you have a kind heart. Even when we were talking, and I first met you on Saturday when we had the meetup, but hearing that you didn't have a direct connection, but
mm,
then seeing that you're making sure that we connect with each other because you're hosting one of our meetups. So, you're doing all the research and you're showing up in Parliament and you're
mm,
fighting for us. Um,
mm,
I'm really grateful for it, and I want to thank you. I really, really do want to thank you because yeah, being a part of that group and
mm,
knowing what it is to run a Facebook group because I've did it in the past. I tried it in the past in COVID, and it's hard as hell. And all the information that y'all share,
yeah.
I feel like it's only because of you all that I'm actually trying to be bold enough to speak up about it.
Mm,
I think even everybody that even posts their stories and stuff, everybody has like this little fear of being like picked out or whatever.
mm,
And I just feel like people need to know that we are all being affected by this.
mm,
And like you say, families are supposed to be together. We are supposed to, you know, make a happy home for children, and the biggest worry should be, if we have bills and making sure that we are on top of those, or
mm-hmm.
whatever those in-house situations is supposed to be. But having a situation where, hearing stories of people, their spouse can't even come and visit them, and that's heartbreaking for me.
Yeah,
Like, it's really, really heartbreaking. And not being able to hug. Like, I can't hug my husband right now. That's
Mm.
something that I do every day once we are together. It's
Mhm.
something that we practice because we want to make sure that when our children grow up, when we do have them, that that they come up and see mommy and daddy hugging.
Mm.
It's a big part of connecting.
Mhm.
And I was even watching I was watching this big YouTuber. I don't want to call his name, but I was watching this big YouTuber, and he does these things where he kind of like isolates people for challenges. And
Mm.
and he said in the last video I watched, he said that one thing that he recognizes that people miss the most is not, um, they don't care. They get to the point where they don't really care about the money. They miss the connection with people because
Yeah.
people need people. People need their family.
Mm.
I saw a guy that he was he had the choice to continue with this challenge. He had a wife and a daughter at home, and he did it was 100 days. He did 100 days away from his family to win this private jet. I'm sure people know who I'm talking about now. To win this private jet, and at the end of the 100 days, he was given a choice. You can continue another 100 days and win like $500,000, $250,000, so that he can maintain the private jet, but he'll have to stay on another 100 days. And he
Yeah.
said no. His wife was screaming, no, no. And the fact that he obviously had the choice to get off that airplane and go to his family is like,
Yeah.
imagine that's only 100 days. People are separated for years,
Yeah.
and there's nothing they can do about it.
I know. And I just like as you're talking, like I think I used to be all idealistic and believe in like social and political change, and these days, like maybe I'm a bit less. The hope gets a little bit like dampened or whatever. But I think like love, love is just such a powerful force, and
It
you
is.
see what people will do for love, like what people will do for their loved ones, and um, I think like if there's any hope in creating social change, it's like when it's driven by love. And that's why I kind of think that, um, in a way, Reunite Families is like involved in quite an interesting little niche of the migration sphere, because it's all people who want to be reunited for love. Like that's the motivation.
It
And
is.
and that's what I just hope we can get the MPs to understand, the politicians to understand, because who who can not connect to that. It's like if we have any, I just think if there's anything that's going to drive social change, it's going to be love.
Yeah. I mean, but even if politicians are people,
Yeah.
and even if they look at it as, if I'm separate, if I couldn't go home to my wife right now, I couldn't go home to my husband, I couldn't go home to my children, how would I feel?
Yeah.
And for me, I think that's what I love about Reunite Families, and what you all are doing and what the group stands for. I've never been a part of a Facebook group this much, other
No.
than in COVID. I get to every day looking to see who posted, looking to see who I can celebrate, just looking to be a part of the group somehow.
Those
And
stories
go
when the success.
Yes. Oh my God. I love the success stories.
Mm.
Last night I actually went to sleep, and before I went to sleep I did a visualization where I was just imagining, the rules are changed, and there's so many success stories in the group just pouring in, like, and I'm just visualizing this because I couldn't sleep. So I'm like, I need to think about something positive.
Yeah.
And I'm just seeing it, and we are just all celebrating, and really and truly, we still have the group, obviously, but
Mm.
it's really like to keep connected, and because obviously, when a migrant, having somebody else that isn't from the UK,
Mm.
and being friends with them, and letting, being actually like forming a little community. That's what I visualize for us in the future. But we're all so successful, and we're all like, in getting through with our visas.
Yeah.
That it's a crazy thing where I was also thinking of, imagine like how the airports would be, of families just running through the airport to just hug their loved ones.
Oh.
I listen, I'm a romance girl. I'm like you. I believe that love does conquers all. But one thing too that I admire, and I must say that's given me hope, and I was talking to my husband this morning about it, was that the fact that this new government, and I don't follow politics, I
Mm.
don't get involved in it or anything like that, but the fact that the first things that they did was to get the Migration and Advisory Committee to do the review for 9 months. I
Yeah.
mean, that was 9 months. There's no way that I can see somebody asking someone to use their resources for 9 whole months and
Mhm.
then do absolutely nothing about it after. And we all saw how that review and detailed it was. And then
Mhm.
you all came after and did an amazing, from 2022
Yeah.
report that I was like, oh my gosh, this is like everything just laid out. And it
Yeah.
basically mirrored what the MAC did. And I love that, because it also showed like the work together.
Mhm. Yeah.
That anybody that you ask or that you hear from, they always say, families should be together. I
Mhm.
can't see why it would not end up with a happy ending for us.
Mhm.
That's the truth. And this is me that broke down my channel a couple of weeks ago. I'm probably still gonna have another part of one of those breakdowns because it's only thing that gives me strength is being a part of the group. If
Yeah.
I know I'm handling it a bit better because I'm around people that actually understand what
Yeah.
I'm going through.
Totally. And I feel like you're going to be a very powerful agent for change within the group. I get the sense that you're going to like bring people together more and like get people talking more. And I think that that collective coming together, that builds hope, that builds momentum, that can lead to change. So I think like so long as everyone in the Reunite Families network can stay connected, stay
Yes.
optimistic, stay believing, then that will be what can help us to gather the force that we need to in order to
Yes.
have the voice and shift some public awareness and because we are such a tiny team that we really need the membership to be active. There's only so
Yes.
much we as a team can do, and so we're so encouraging and grateful for members who are able to like lead stuff, get stuff going, and I think that like thing of like local conversations is really key that we were talking about on our meetup the other day at the weekend.
Hmm.
Um, trying to have difficult conversations locally with people who might be a bit funny about immigration, but believe in families, believe in love, believe in the importance of families being together. And if we can all like have some of those slightly trickier conversations, especially if you're in areas where reform are in power or
Hmm.
who
Yeah.
I think that's so key. So yeah, if any members are watching, then yeah, I just really encourage all of you to be using this time, like between now and September in particular, to influence locally, but then also to try and get MPs, to try and get your MP to speak to uh, Yvette Cooper, of course, and then also the immigration minister, Seema Johotra.
I wish that more people will speak out. And because of you all give me this is the first time I've done an interview on my channel. You're the first person.
Honoured.
uh, Other than, I mean, I do interviews with my friends, but it's just not normal YouTube stuff. It's, they're YouTube friends.
Yeah,
But I just want to add to the cause. I just want to get the awareness out there because
yeah,
I feel like if we all just put in just a little bit, it's
hmm
all you need, somebody to just put forward just a little bit of effort. It
yeah,
helps,
totally.
and I'm all for helping people get their stories out there. I would love, I would absolutely love that when they change the rules,
Yeah,
that because of the impact that you guys and the MAC did, it's so good that we are just I just keep on saying it that we are all just celebrating,
yeah. We'll have a huge
because yes, I'll be there. I don't care how far it is. I'll definitely be there. The work, especially that y'all do on Circle.
yeah.
I joined Circle and I paid for the yearly fee. And if my husband watched this, he'll find out now. I paid £5 for the year. He doesn't even know it. I'm like, I'm just doing it. And now I might talk to him about everything, but I was like, nothing is turning me back now. I'm just doing it now. And I'm so grateful that I did join the circle group. And for
Mm,
anybody out there that you are going through this and you don't know about Reunite Families, definitely I'll say join the Facebook group. I don't know if you all have the link outside of the Facebook group to join Circle directly.
It should be on
Um,
the website. Yeah.
yeah, 'cause what I will do though is I'll link the website as well in the description of the video, and I'll
Yeah.
put it in the comment section too.
Yeah. And we can, if
So
I can send a circle link as well.
yeah, so that people can just join it directly from this video. Because in there, how you all have everything laid out, you can go see NP responses. You can go see, I see someone ask, about you get to figure out how to do your pictures with what programs to use, and you get to hear people's stories, and you get to just connect with each other, and you get points. Do you know that? I recognize that you get to be a part of, like, once you comment and interact, you're part of this leadership board. I was like, oh, so who can I comment on now?
That's great.
Yeah, but I love what y'all are doing,
Thank you.
and what for me, what really the love aspect that I love about you, Townsend, is that you are not directly impacted, but
Mm,
with the work and the experience you've had over the years, you decided, let me do this. I really, not everybody are open to working for not for profit, because
yeah.
you know that the pay is not going to. So for somebody to do a not for profit job, you got to be into the cause. I
Yeah.
really, because you can't really be bothered about the income. You got to be there for the cause,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm saying. That you're there for the cause. I'm
Mm.
grateful that I met you.
Oh.
Anything else you want to say?
Yeah.
That you want to get across to the viewers before we come to ending of the interview?
Um, I'm grateful to have met you too, Kimberly. Thank you for joining Circle and for joining Reunite Families. And yeah, I guess just really to encourage people that now's the time. So we believe that the government will make a decision likely around September time. So Parliament is shut in August, and then also for I think like a couple of weeks in September. And we don't know for sure when they'll make a decision. But what that means is like now we've got 10 days left of July. We need to be speaking to our MPs. We need to be speaking out publicly, trying to raise awareness of this issue and of the Reunite Families recommendations and of the MAC review recommendations, just having conversations as much as we can. And then obviously things will go a bit quiet for August, but then again, early September, we need to be coming together, we need to be collectivizing. So we're hoping to have a kind of picnic gathering around Parliament. We're hoping to maybe organise an event where everyone comes together and we all try and speak to our MPs at the same time. Information about those is on Facebook and Circle. So um, sign up, let us know that you're going to come. We need to know that people are going to show up in order for us to organise these things because we're limited in our capacity. So yeah, we basically just want to emphasise now's the time. Let's make lots of noise about this. Share our animations. We've got some animations on our YouTube channel which have like simple information about the rules. Share any of the resources you find on our website, and just keep talking to people about it, and keep trying to like maybe try and talk to one new person each day about these rules to try and just influence that change. And I think if we all come together, then we can do it. Yeah, we can make it happen.
Oh, that's a pretty ending. I have nothing else to say. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Tanzan. And as we come to the end of this video, I would like to thank you for watching. And remember to be brave, be strong, and be you. Bye.